What is up, everybody? It's another week, so that means it's another episode of InfoSec Unplugged. I am your host, D-Jax, also known as Davin Jackson. Thank you for joining. We got a lot we want to get into, but first, you know the routine. Got to go through our sponsors. So this episode has been sponsored by WebRoot. WebRoot is a antivirus solution and cybersecurity solution software. It's easy to install, easy to use, easy on your PC, and it protects you from all types of attacks. So make sure you check them out. Click the link below in the show notes. You can also check out some great cybersecurity training that's on sale on Udemy. Udemy is a platform that has a marketplace of over 130,000 130,000 courses. You can learn anything, pretty much anything you want. So make sure you go check them out. But wanted to get through that because I also want to shout out this week's special sponsor, which is the We Hack Purple Academy. We Hack Purple is run by Tanya Janka, also known as She Hacks Purple on Twitter. They are a training company that focuses on application security. It makes application security easy and fun to learn. There are 3 foundation courses, which you can buy individually or get them as a bundle. And when you do buy the bundle, you also get a copy of Tanya's book. Let me get it right here. Alice and Bob Learn Application Security. It's a great book. It teaches the basics. I didn't drop my little mascot. So please go check them out as well. They are doing great things. They also have a YouTube channel. Check them out on social media, on their Twitter. And like I said, YouTube, Instagram is all We Hack Purple. So please go check them out and give them some support. So there's a lot we want to get into. But first, I know a lot of people were expecting Marcus J. Carey to be on the show this week. However, he did get caught up in all that madness going on in Texas. So first and foremost, prayers go out to everybody who is dealing with those issues in Texas. I'm going to go on a rant about that as soon as I bring in the guest, but we're going to reschedule that. However, I've been blessed to have another brother join me and, give me a stern talking to and teach you guys about the game as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce my guest, Tyrone Wilson of Cybersecurity Solutions.
What is going on, Davin? Look at you with the sponsors. Yo, I'm happy for you, man.
I appreciate it. So, for those of you who don't know Tyrone is, like I said, the CEO of Cybersecurity Solutions. He's a cybersecurity professional. I don't know how you're in the cybersecurity game and don't know Tyrone, because this man is literally everywhere. Like, I can't keep up with him. But like I said, welcome back. He was also my first guest on the impromptu episode, so I guess we're going to do it right this time. So welcome back,
everybody. What's good? Yeah.
Tell them about yourself and how you got started.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I got thrown into the fire. I joined the military right after high school, and the military. After my first 4 years of active duty, I spent some time as a commo specialist because the Army found out I was colorblind. So I was a radio operator, and I worked in the commo shop. This was 95, 96, 97 time frame. And then I did 2.5 years in Seoul, Korea. Loved it there. And when we got to Korea, the commo shop essentially turned into a help desk. We never really used the radios other than to deploy. So after my first 4 years of active duty, I still needed to do 4 years of reserve time. And I applied for a job to be a help desk supervisor. And I learned some things in that very first set of interviews. One was I didn't think I was going to get the job, but I applied for it anyway. And it was at a law firm in Boston, Massachusetts. And come to find out, 4 out of the 5 people that interviewed me were former military. They asked me some questions like, have you been in charge of people? And very confidently, I said, yes, I have. I wasn't, but there were some people that I technically outranked. So very confidently, I said, yes. And I ended up getting the job. I still needed to do 4 more years of reserve time. It just so happens that my reserve unit was a information operations center. There was about 6 of them all across the country. Mine was the Northeast Information Operations Center. They didn't issue us weapons; they issued us laptops, and we learned about hypervisors. And they gave us this pamphlet that said, "Go practice of hack yourself." This was over 20 years ago, so I didn't know anything at the time. So Mama said, "You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So listen twice as much as you speak." And what I would do is I would listen to all the Windows folks battle the Linux folks, take notes while I was in drill, and go home and practice. Yes, Tazaro. So in order to stay in the unit, you have to be a 25 Bravo or something similar. So I reclassed to a 25 Bravo, which was the information specialist, information analyst. So when I reclassed, it was 4 more months of training, and they took me through the whole cycle: A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, CCNA, and that was the training. Come to find out, the IOCs are on rotations to Iraq. And I didn't think I was going to get deployed. I ended up getting deployed, but before deployment, there's 4 to 5 months of pre-deployment training, and that was incident handling, incident response. I was actually one of the first people to be in the ArcSite classes. So we learned ArcSite, we went to Lackland and got a bunch of training from them. Hey. And I essentially went from running a help desk to being in charge of all of the network intrusions for all of Iraq, because that was the unit's mission. Fell in love with it, parlayed that into some positions after the deployment, working in various SOCs from JTF-GNO, which is now US Cybercom, the FBI on the weekends, the FBI ESOC, because there wasn't many SOC analysts that were cleared and had that skill set and had, those resume bullets with deployments and clearances and all of that. So we were literally, me and 2 other people, we were literally working 7 days a week, but in a SOC, and we were just trying to, gain all those skills, collect collect as much as we can, and then keep going. And that was my start. I was literally thrown in the fire, but I loved it though. I loved it.
No, sometimes that's the best way to learn. So, so like I said, everybody here should know who Tyrone is, but if not, real quick, I just wanted to give a shout out to the chat, my wolf pack. Thank you for joining. You guys always make this a fun thing to do when I'm up, when I'm down, when I'm in sickness and in health. So I appreciate y'all. If you guys have questions for me or Tyrone, just ask them in the chat. We'll check them periodically, and then we'll get to the Q&A section. As always, you can ask anything. Just keep it clean and respectful, or
Yeah, sure thing. I love questions.
Yeah. So just keep it clean and respectful, and we'll move it. So, Ty, man, geez. Like I said, so now that you're here, like I said, you were supposed to be on next week. And then, like I said, I contacted Marcus after hearing everything that's going on in Texas. And, I reached out to you, and, like always, you're right there with it. So I appreciate you for doing that. But the thing that I wanted to rant on real quick is just everything that's going on in Texas is just ridiculous. I know every week I usually talk about buy me a coffee and stuff like that. Listen, if you guys want to support the show, do it another time. This week, I want you guys to please support the people out in Texas. It's ridiculous that, they weren't prepared for a storm that they knew was coming. And unfortunately, the powers that be over there can't decide whether or not they want to take responsibility, go on a trip to Cancun, or blame wind turbines and solar energy for some shit that they should have been taken care of years ago. So unfortunately, it's left to us, the people, to look out for one another. So I reached out to a few people on Twitter, and I'm going to put some links in the chat. But there are a bunch of different places you can reach out to. For one, reach out to Josh to David on Twitter. Like, he's on the ground and seems to know what's going on. You could probably also reach out to Marcus J. Carey. He seems to know what's going on out there too. But Ariel Hale, Ari, if you guys don't know, Allergic to Hourly, or Nerd Nomad Mom by her old handle, she put up a link for the Park Hill Capital Foundation for Texas relief efforts. It's parkhillcapitalventures.com. Like I said, I'm gonna add them into the chat in the show notes. Kelsey McKinney also said you can reach out to Feed the People Dallas on Twitter, and a couple other people in Houston, as well as Austin, some hotels that are letting people seek shelter. Kelsey also, let's see. Nope, those are those two. And if you guys know of anything, put them in the chat, put them on social media, please. 4 million people at the last time I heard were without power or running water or stuff like that. People are dying. So please, just if you, whatever you can, if you can't, then share it at least, and maybe someone else can. So, and again, to the powers that be, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, get your shit together and rant, because Ty always tells me I can't go off.
Oh no, go. Go.
So like I said, a funny thing happened to me today, and I'm pretty sure this happens to you, because like I said, you're everywhere. So I went to Micro Center real quick. I had an appointment, and on my way home, I said, let me stop at Micro Center, and I made some purchases that I probably that JB would probably be proud of me, but I'm getting anxiety about. But while I was in there, I'm in there with my mask on and stuff, and I run into someone, and they were like, "You look so familiar," and I'm like, the first response, where you know me from? You don't know me, I don't know, whatever, right? So then we go, and I start giving my information, and I give them my name, and they're like, "Oh, you got the show on YouTube, man, that's awesome." And he was like, "Yo," and I'm like, I didn't know how to take it. I was like, thanks, right? And then I go to the register, and there was a young lady there, and she was like, "Man, listen, everything you're saying is great, and my kids watch, and thank you." And I was like, wow, like it was great knowing that other people who I don't know, that I've never met, can do it. But at the same time, it makes me not uncomfortable, but I just didn't know how to feel it. It's almost like another thing that gets to me sometimes, like when people find out I'm a veteran and they go, "Thank you for your service," and I clam up, and I'm like, "That thank you," and it's not that I'm ashamed of it. It's just I don't know how to respond to it at first, and then also I always think of the veterans who gave that ultimate sacrifice, and it's like I feel conflicted, right? So
yeah, that humility is a good thing, especially for the veteran thing. I get that a lot, but for anything that occurs in your professional career, that rock meme, he's just smelling it. Just embrace that, man. Like, you worked for that, embrace that. That's the vision that you always had, right? Like you're working so people know who you are, right? Mm-hmm. You're paying bills, you're online, you have different social media platforms, right? Like, and it makes you feel like your work is coming to fruition. Right. So there was a times I would be like embarrassed, and I'd go somewhere, and I have one friend, Craig. Literally, the only thing he does is talk about me and the meetup group and all that stuff. And I used to be embarrassed by it because I just want to be me. I don't want to talk about all that stuff. But now, just embrace that. Embrace it. It's who you are.
Yeah, like I said, it's new to me. Like I said, I know you again. You're probably used to it because, like I said, every time I turn around, Ty is everywhere. And then the crazy shit about it is half the time we'll be on the same bill and don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we both did the winter conference for the Blacks in
Mm-hmm.
Cybersecurity, and I think you mentioned it to me, but I didn't know you were doing it was like an 8-hour workshop.
Bro, there was like a full 2 or 3 weeks where we were on the same thing back to back.
Yeah.
Sands, even with Tanya,
Yep.
the Blacks in Cyber panel, we were just on everything.
Yep.
But, to tell you the truth, that used to really, really bother me. It used to give me a lot of anxiety.
Really?
Yeah. Let me tell you what I did.
What?
To get rid of it. Because you spend all of this time as an InfoSec professional, but then you turn around and you try to be an entrepreneur. And you're like, I want you to know who I am. Right. So I really struggled with that. But what I did was I opened up my social media. I started being more active on social media with, the streams, with Instagram, and just putting my face out there every day. And it got rid of a lot of that anxiety. And if you notice, I started to tweet more, but then, my tweets were more like motivational messages.
Yep. And I'm going to get to that too.
Yeah. But honestly, like a lot of them were for me. Right. It's like me reminding myself that it's okay. Right. You're going to struggle. Right. You're going to keep learning, but just keep pushing. Kids, just keep stepping. Right. Just keep stepping.
Yep. So back to the conference. So talk about that workshop, because again, offline, I've told you, like, I want to do certain things, and you talked about talk to me about doing workshops. So tell me what that was like, and then I'll tell you, from my perspective when I jumped in a couple times. But yeah, what was your experience with that?
You know me, man. I will probably always try to find a way to support the community. And if I can support the community and support the people, then it's a win-win. And I did a full day of the Intro to Cyber workshops. And just like everything, I just kind of just poured my heart out, in the workshops, kept it real with everybody, was myself. But then, you could tell towards the end, I started to get a little goofy in the classes because I'm just comfortable at that point, and it doesn't really feel like work. It feels like it's really weird. It feels like I'm actually helping, millions of people achieve success, even though, there's 150 or so people online. Like it's really weird to try to explain it.
No, I mean, to get 150 people online in an era where attention spans are just that quick. I mean, I celebrate when I break 20 people watching consecutively here. So, but I mean, yeah, 150 people glued into what you're saying and giving that information, and then it may not be millions, but that 150 may go out and then teach another 10. And if each of them teach 10 people, then that multiplies. So yeah, you do have that influence.
Yeah. And shout out to Blacks in Cyber. They have that ability to put all of those people together, because imagine, the hundreds and thousands of people who weren't attended my sessions. So
no,
shout out to them.
No, it was definitely a great conference. Like I said, I told Xavier last week, I said I think the only negative thing I could say is that I wanted to check out all the other talks during my talk, but like I said, I can only imagine, like, just getting this set up together every week, and you would think I'm used to it now, and it's getting a little easier, but just getting this all set up and ready to go for 6 o'clock is a chore in itself. So now to do that on the scale that they did it for 2 days, kudos to them. Like I said, I know behind the scenes it was probably nuts, but like I said, I definitely appreciate them, and I'm just like you. Any way to help out the community and help out people, I'm there. So So with starting Cover Six Solutions, did you always anticipate it to be something for training or consulting or a mixture of both? Like what was your thought process and what led you to making the decision that you decided to go into business for yourself? Because let's be real, it's definitely not easy.
What's weird is I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to help people. So I was either going to be a professional athlete or a politician, because I felt like a politician, I could sign some paperwork and I can help people. I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur because I always struggled. I always struggled like not being the leader or not being in charge. Like I struggled walking into a room and saying boss and knowing that people outranked me in the military. I don't know what it was, right? And then when I started, working for other people, there were bosses that I respected, but I always felt like I could do that, you know?
Yeah.
And I always felt like if I just challenged myself, then I could do it. But I always wanted to create something to where I can easily have enough influence to like be able to reach out to someone and then help someone else. Because I felt like my success for me would be like someone being able to go somewhere knowing that I sent them or I made a connection happen, and then success happened for that person, right? That success. I struggled starting the company because one, I couldn't think of a name that I was willing to work 18, 19 hours a day for, right? And people would be like, why don't you just choose any name? You can go change the name later. But I needed it to mean something. So I finally found the name. And then once I found the name, I struggled convincing myself that people would pay to see me, or people would pay to learn from me, right? I'd be like, who am I? And then I started studying for the OSCP, and then I put together a 1-day intro to pen testing meetup. And it was all day Saturday, and I did it again on Sunday. And the people, we first day 49 people, second day 51 people, so 100 people in a weekend. And people started coming up to me after the class, was like, why are you doing this for free? And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know. It's just something I wanted to do. Look how many people I helped. But then my sister was like, psh, 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 psh. Bro, why are you doing this for free? So I was like,
one of my favorite lines from the one of my favorite lines was when the Joker said, when the Joker was like, I'm gonna kill Batman, and they were like, well, why don't you do it then? He was like, yo, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
Yeah, so I just started putting the workshops together, and I started charging for it. And then, people were saying that you should charge more, you should charge more, you should charge more. So that's what I did. And now it's to a point to where it's like, this is my price. And then people would ask for discounts. And I'd be like, you know what? It's discounted right now. So
Mm-hmm. No, that's what's up. And I think that when people who don't know what it's like to start a business, the name is important, especially to the owner, right? So like Alpha Cybersecurity, and the reason for that wolf was because for a long time I called myself like a lone wolf, because when I tried to reach out to people, I didn't get the responses, or I got ignored or whatever. And it was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do it on my own. And I was like, and the joke was, what movie was it? The Hangover, when he was like the one man wolf pack. That's what my friends would call it, because I'm like, all right, screw it, I'm just gonna do it all by myself. I'm gonna do it all by myself. And then when I decided that I wanted to help people, it was like, all right, cool, now I want to lead the pack. So now that's where alpha because the alpha wolf, leads the pack. And I wanted to, and that's how that all came about. So the naming and branding is definitely important. Like I said, I haven't gotten to the point where where I'm paying for services yet, which is going to be the next question, because I want to. And like I said, we've talked about this offline, and I think you already touched on it. But what did you do to figure out how to become a trainer? You created courses. Did you? Were there materials?
It was a struggle, man. It was a struggle.
Mm.
So I'm kind of stubborn, and I love challenging myself. So in the meetups, what I would do is I would pick a topic that I was unfamiliar with. I would schedule that meetup 90 days from now, and then challenge myself to create a 40-minute presentation on that topic. And then I just did that over and over and over again until I had a full worth of material and then some. And then I did a pen tester prep. And then people wanted an easier class. So I did a intro to cyber. And then we created the defensive equivalent to the pen tester prep, which was the SOC analyst prep. And then I did a week-long summer cyber camp. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just do an attack and defend. Well, I combined them together. And then it just kept going. I started with micro classes, believe it or not. So it was like $25 for a webinar. Mm-hmm. And people were showing up. So I just kept doing it. But then I was like, why don't I just do a full day? Right? Then I did a full day, but I started with a half a day. And then over time, and I tell people this a lot. I said, over time, there's going to be a moment when you realize who you are, right? And that moment is going to be glorious. Mm-hmm. And I want everyone to experience that moment, because when you do, everything changes for you, even at a subconscious level. The way you talk to people, the way you think about what your rates should be, everything just your confidence in who you are exudes, through the screen. And then if you have a passion for what you're doing, then, the sky's the limit. You can pretty much pick anything and give a talk on it. Yeah.
Yep. And it's fun. And again, there's that word. If you guys tuned in last week, me and Xavier had a whole conversation about the word passion and when to use it properly. Mm-hmm. And it's funny you say that, but before I do that, shout out to Cyber Warrior Studios.
Oh yeah.
I got my hoodie. I'm trying to do more with, not only supporting what I'm doing, but I also want to bring light to everybody who's doing great things. So shout out to him as well. But I think that moment where you were talking about when you finally realize who you are, mm-hmm. I want to say I think I had that moment. Well, I've had one of many of those moments. Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right. I think I want to say it was in the middle of a stream or at the end of a stream, and it was just all the pieces just started to come together. It was just this is what I want to do. And where I'm struggling now is what I want to do isn't lining up with what I do every day. And I want it to be one big happy family.
Yeah.
Right? And that's definitely a struggle. Like I said, my 9 to 5 is my 9 to 5. And then I do this on the side. And like I said, I'm not making any money, but like I said, but I enjoy talking to everybody. Kicking it with you, and then having these conversations. And then even after getting the feedback of how, everything that I visioned this show to be is exactly what's being portrayed on the screen. Whereas people wow, I didn't think this person was approachable. And not only are they approachable, they're funny as hell, or they're very knowledgeable. I would never have imagined that I can literally just shoot the shit with a Mary Galloway. Right. I never imagined that I can sit there. If I'm going through something, I can hit up Ty and go, yo, you got a minute, and you hit and you answer. I never imagined that someone like a JB, who we make bad financial decisions and laugh
Uh-huh.
about it, you know, like
Uh-huh.
like and that's what I like about this, is that yeah, we could talk technical stuff, but we talk tech all day. I want to show the human side, where we let our hair down,
Yeah.
have a beverage, you know,
Yeah.
and talk shop. Speaking of which, what are you drinking?
Tonight, monkey shoulder.
Mm,
Tonight, I had some. I was torn between the monkey shoulder and the Glenfiddich, so I
okay.
chose the monkey shoulder. You
So
know.
my brother came down
Hmm.
and brought me this Dupuis cognac,
Okay.
and it's smooth.
Yeah.
It's
Trying to get my Jay Bizzle on when it come to whiskey.
yeah,
So
man, gold.
yeah, I got a couple trips I'm gonna make this weekend. So
Yeah. So
we'll see.
so we talked so again we talked about, you know, when you have that aha moment, and then we talked about some of
Mhm.
the challenges. So what challenges did you face starting, or what challenges do you still face, you know, with being an entrepreneur and running a company?
Wow. Honestly, like right now, it would be figuring out, sometimes you have that moment to where like you want to bring more people on to have more business, but you need to be able to afford that. And like you have so many good ideas that you want to do, but you know that that's going to cost you.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do it the wrong way because you've done it the wrong way the first 2, 3, 4 years of your entrepreneurial career. So just being able to have that patience to do it right um, is what I struggle with right now, because like I want to do everything, and that's kind of where I struggled with the company. I had some friends that I talked to. They're like, "What do you want to do?" I said, "We're a solutions company. We do everything. We do everything. We can do it all." And he was like, "Nah, bro, you need to focus on something." I said, "The name is Cover Six Solutions." We have the solutions for everything. But
My
then,
name is my name.
but I settled on like the 4 or 5 top things and then made that my focus. But then, even with those things, you want it to grow instantly, right? You feel like you put out a tweet, you feel like you mentioned a class, and you're like, I already know 100 people are going to sign up, right? But when it doesn't happen, then you start, to have that series of doubts. Why am I doing this? And it's like this cycle over and over again that you got to push through as an entrepreneur. One of the things that I've been doing to combat that is just to be happy for everyone.
Yes.
Um, and I wouldn't say that I was a hater per se, but I guess my hate would be just to not mention anyone else. So people would ask me about other training platforms, and I'd be like, I don't want to give you the wrong answer because I honestly never checked them out. And it's because I haven't, right? So I didn't know what other people were teaching on their platforms. I just knew what I had, and I just wanted the focus to be on me. But then when people ask, I would be like, I really don't know, but you should go and check it out. You'll be back. But you should go and check it out. And if anyone else in the classroom is familiar with that platform, let them know and check it out. And now I'm just like, hey, whoever wants it, get it. Go try all of the things. Go hack all of the things. I'll still be here, you know.
I love that subtle flex. I love it.
Hmm?
I said I love that subtle flex, that, you know, I don't know what's out there. All I know is
No,
come.
no, yeah, no. I think it's because I honestly wasn't doing it for the money,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I felt like as long as I do right by the people, in the end, it's going to pay off.
That's real.
And I just kept that mentality going. And now it's just what it is, to where, you know, you get decent sized classes, you get large, you know, showings at the meetups. And it's just because, you know, I'm Tyrone Wilson.
Yes.
You know,
Talk it, sir.
You know, like, this is almost year 26. You know, at some point, you got to be like, God damn it. Like, I worked for it, you know, like, you can stay humble with it. But like, in the end, you know, like, I put in a lot of goddamn, let me stop cursing. Put in a lot of hours. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, you know, like, you put in that work. You know what I mean? You put in that work to be technically proficient. You put in that work, you know, to give the classes, to give the presentations. And because, you know, you want that level of, you know, expertise for yourself. You want to gain that confidence. But then again, you know, you just kind of want to show that you have it.
Yeah.
But you don't want to, like, you don't have to, like, flex all the time.
No,
just know that you can.
Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. So real quick in the chat, where was it? I saw it. So JB's in the chat.
What's up, JB? Hey, we still owe
open invite to the house anytime for a taste testing.
Okay, I still owe JB shots. We're supposed to do what was it called? Buckets for bundles. Hashtag buckets for bundles. And JB and I was supposed to compete in a 3-point contest, raise money for bundles, and then give those bundles away.
That's what's up.
But it started to get cold and we never finished it. But I didn't forget. JB.
That's what's up. I might have to be a late. Butters, shout out to Butters. Like I say, he's a friend of mine. Says Monkey Shoulder is awesome. That man has taste. So go ahead. No, go ahead.
I had a friend that said, be careful with this whiskey life, because it can come at you fast.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were right.
JB said I did.
Right.
JB said I did invest in Bitcoin, so that tequila is my investment. I think he's referring to that. Oh, that Tesla tequila. Oh, shout out to Kalila. I see Kalila's in this chat too.
Hey, what's up, Kalila? How you doing?
He said Jay Bizzle's rich with the Tesla tequila. And that's when he responded. He invested in that tequila. Yeah, I saw that. I'm trying to. I need to figure out what he got going on. So now you were talking. Oh, and then he just responded to you. He said it's on the planner. So your bucket for bundles is on the planner.
Let's get it.
So the one thing that, like I said, I definitely can agree and speak to is, you know, your increase of activity on social media, but especially with the motivation and staying positive. I mean,
the 5.
Yeah, you know, like every morning, and it's funny because I see you. I get up in the morning, and I see, and I'm like,
I'm up.
I'm like,
let's
damn.
go.
I'm like,
let's
that's what's up. Look, that's what's up.
Let's go.
You hitting the 5, and I'm like 5 more minutes. But
talk 5 miles, y'all. 5 miles. Yeah. Go ahead.
But talk about that, because that's something that I try to do as well. Talk about how, you know, staying positive and motivating people. Not only does it help people that you may not even ever come in contact with, but what I find is that sometimes in doing that, it's almost like I say, be the change you want to see. So it's almost like you're helping yourself by helping others. So speak on that. So you know, your motivations behind being a motivation for people.
It's weird because, like, there's really not much closure in a tweet, right? There's no way to prove that I helped someone unless someone specifically says anything. So it's kind of like just blindly just throwing stuff out there. But over time, you know, you get the idea that it's sticking somewhere, because, you know, people will follow you, and they're still following you. So obviously, there's something positive there. But I just try to keep that going, Hold on. What was the question again?
No. Just about staying positive and
Oh, it's a struggle, man. It is a struggle because sometimes, the strongest people are the people you need to check on. And, you want to be strong all the time. You want to be that voice. You realize that you have a following, but you're human. So sometimes the things that you see publicly affect you as well. And sometimes it's a struggle coming up with the right words. Sometimes I don't even have the words. And then sometimes I'll just be like, I don't really know what to say. I'm pissed too. You know what I mean? But if you need someone to talk to, I'm here.
Yeah.
Right? And some things get really frustrating. Right? Because it's like things that you predict 4 years ago and people thought you was just angry and ranting, But that positivity is something that you have to, you got to try to keep with you. I don't know if anyone knows, but I started like a spiritual journey this year because I was battling anxiety. And luckily, I had some friends, that would invite me to the happy hours, 4 or 5 people, backyard. And then it helps you get some of those things out. And sometimes, well, the spiritual journey, I did some research on Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. And I realized you don't win, focusing on the negative, right? Like you just always just got to keep pushing. And I understand that there's going to be some things that impact you like really, really hard, right? Like really hard, but you just gotta try to find a positive in that. And I know it's like cliche. Nobody really wants to hear that. And sometimes it feels good to be angry or to have a really good cry. You know what I mean? And that's all good. But guess what's going to happen? Right? The world is still going to move on. So you got to move on too.
Yep. No, that's real. And another thing is, yeah, everybody here, make sure you check in on the strong friend. Make sure, like that's real. Like, make sure you the one who always seems to have it together, or the one who always seems to have the right answer. What usually happens is they're the one who kind of gets overlooked to be checked on, because they're like, I don't need to talk to them. They got all the answers. They figure it out, and they might be struggling with their own situations, or sometimes they're internalizing the stuff that you're bringing to them, and they're processing it almost for you.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's almost so please always check, because especially during these times with 2020 and this year not starting off the best either. It's definitely important that you check on them, because then usually what happens, something bad happens, and it's like, oh, I never knew that they felt that way. So so now, like I said, so yes, the being positive and staying motivated, like I said, that's huge. Like I said, especially now, because it's so easy to fall into a funk of everything that's going on, whether it's the news or just the stuff that's going on in the world. Hell, Twitter. It definitely plays a role and takes a toll on you either way you do. So you definitely got to stay motivated. So with that being said, one of the things that obviously that motivates me is everything that we're doing individually and collectively, which is trying to bring light to more people in cybersecurity, bringing people from communities that probably didn't even think this was an option into it. So, which was one of the motivations for the talk I gave with the gaming and cybersecurity, because I wanted to make it relatable for kids. But with everything that you're doing, with cover 6 and stuff. How, I mean, how, not, let's see. How do you find ways to bring more women and children into cybersecurity, more diversity? Like how do you think we can get more into it? I mean, I know we're doing it by just being here and putting our faces to, to the screen, but how would you suggest bringing a more diverse community and women into cybersecurity?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I just do it. If you need a plan to do that, then you're doing something.
You're
doing something wrong, right? If you need a marketing plan to create diversity, that means it's not there at a subconscious level.
Well, not for us. Well, for businesses, yes.
Just do it.
Yeah, yeah. For businesses, absolutely, just do it. But for us, like I said, for me, I think it's important that, again, we are putting ourselves out there especially because representation matters.
Yeah.
Right. And I love the answer because it's to the point. It's to the point on some Kobe shit. Like,
yeah, just
go ahead and go for it.
Just do it. Like, if you notice, if I see anyone that is actually trying online, first thing I'll do is I'll retweet whatever they posted.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost me anything to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I can contribute to them getting 100 retweets, 100 likes, a job. If I have something that I can offer, I'll just offer it to them. And it's either going to be beneficial to them or it's not, right? I talked about it a little bit, at the workshop for the Blacks in Cyber. I said, if it means that I have to talk at every conference, do 2 webinars a month, be on every show and panel so they can see a Black face that's technically proficient, then I'll do it. I don't even feel anything like it doesn't even feel like work at all.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's real. And like I have that conversation with my wife a lot too, because there are days, like I said, there are days where I'm exhausted, right? Like I'm up, I'm trying to get up now because Ty's up, so I'm like, all right, I gotta do whatever. But I try to get up. I'm up at 5. I do my little workout, try to run to the gym, because I also try to make sure I go to the boxing gym, hit the heavy bag, and kick some stuff and feel better. But by 3-4 o'clock, I'm asleep, right? And my wife is like, listen, just cancel it for today. And I'm like, I can't. And she gets it, but I think it's just her being, her love and concern for me. She's like, and I'm like, I can't, because I can't let you down. I can't let these people down. And again, this one, whether I have one person or 100 people, if I get one who takes something that I said or you said or that any of my previous guests said, and it makes something click or it puts the pieces together, because usually you have your vision and you have your end goal, but it's that middle road that you don't need, that you struggle with. And if I can bring that piece of road together for someone, I don't care if I never meet this person, but I did my part. And like I said, especially for people, again, who are in these communities where they feel like they don't really have other choices than doing something stereotypical or illegal. So, you gotta keep pushing for it. And like you said, you just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. With kids though, I feel like it's a little bit more than just doing it, because again, in the times that we live in, their attention span is short. So that's why I try to do something like, video games or whatever. Like my daughter keeps talking to me, and I keep talking about it every week. My daughter keeps telling me to go on TikTok, because she's like, there's a whole cybersecurity TikTok. But I'm not doing it. lines.
So first of all, take your naps, right?
Yeah.
Take the naps. You can't benefit anyone if if you go through this cycle where you're burnt out every 2 months, right?
Right.
Take the nap. Best believe I'm gonna take a nap if I'm tired, right? Getting kids into cybersecurity. A cool trick I learned was the lock picking. Show them the lock picking, show them how to get out of cuffs, right? And then, slowly but surely, put them on the computer or on the phone and just start, with the basics, with something simple like, getting the exploit like already ready, right? And then just have them press the button, they exploit, and be like, all right, now watch this. See your video camera. I'm looking at you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or just show them like that they can listen in with their AirPods, right? And be like, that can be a form of cybersecurity, or right? Someone said stored cross-site. That was funny.
So, but it's funny. My son. Yeah, that's my son right there. Like, push this button and watch what happens. My daughter. And the funny thing is, I've been trying to get her for years, and she likes certain things like social engineering and phishing. She's absolutely great at it. I'll get into that story one day offline. And like I said, and her Python skills are better than mine. But I can't get her in front of a computer to actually do anything long enough. And then the other night I was working on something, and I was working on I was doing a blind SQL injection, and it was for the Portswigger site, so I can say that. And I was basically getting the password, and I had to go through the whole thing of a blind SQL injection and pay attention to the little welcome back thing, because otherwise you wouldn't know whether it worked or not. And that seemed to trigger her. That I went through this whole thing where you couldn't see it, but then after a while, and then I did the intruder cluster bomb, and then after that, put it together almost like a puzzle. Like, okay, so payload 1 was this, and then did that, and then once I got the whole string of 20 characters, I put the password in, and she sat there for like a good hour and just watched it. So you're absolutely, making it relatable is a major key.
Yeah, it used to sting when I would talk to family members, especially younger family members that had zero interest in computers or cybersecurity. And like, you feel strongly about it because you know what it can do for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, why don't you just do this? Because, all of these doors will open up for you. And I realized that it's just not for everyone.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't have to like push it on all of my cousins. I don't have to push it on my niece if that's not what she's interested in. Like I could still, show her some things, introduce her to all of the other possibilities that she has in this world, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be my profession.
Yeah. No,
right?
That's real. No, that's true. But another thing that I want to do is that I think would be helpful, and at some point we all need to get together. Me, you, JB. We probably need to get something like SANS involved, because this is something that I really want to do, and I see other people pushing for it. I want to get more veterans involved, right? Veterans who come out. I mean, and I know it.
I'm gonna ask you why. Not because I am asking why veterans. I'm asking why because me. I always want to know your why.
I drive down to Atlanta and I see a lot of veterans sleeping under a bridge. You know what I'm saying? You have these veterans who literally lost limbs or lost a part of their lives to serve their country and come home to nothing, right? We all know, not all of them, but we all know a lot of the VAs aren't ideal.
Okay.
And a lot of companies they they say they want to give veterans a chance, but a lot I'm finding from conversations that I'm having with some other vets that it's really performative. So it's almost like if you're interested in learning a new skill, to help get you back on your feet, and maybe we do, do something. Like I said, again, this is just something that's come to mind. I haven't figured out the all the semantics
Yeah,
and the particular information, but it's almost like, getting them somewhere where they can get them in a class, teach them some basics, you know, get them a laptop and some stuff,
yeah.
and help them, you know, maybe even get them in something where it can help, like a job placement program, something. But I just
Yes,
I feel like more can be done.
absolutely. And I've gotten close. I've had talks with the local USO
Hmm.
on base, and I said, "You fill the room up, I'll teach them." Right? But then you can also get with organizations that are already doing that. Right? VetSec,
Yeah.
they have Slack and everything. Veterati is another one that I'm aware of. Right? So you don't have to start from scratch, right? There's already organizations that are doing that, you know. Just look them up. But then, if you want to do something for veterans, right, it kind of takes am I saying this right? Inclusivity away. It kind of sounds like you're being, you know what, get it, don't even matter. You want to help
I
veterans.
get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, I've never been the one to like exclude certain
Right.
groups
Well, like I
or
said, I don't want it to be like a vets only thing, but whatever it is I want to create, and
Mhm.
I'll say it here now. Once I figure it all out, whether I pick your brain, pick
Bam.
whatever,
And this is,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean to cut you off,
Go ahead.
but I'm a little tipsy, but it's cool.
Whatever.
D for
Whenever.
D for diva.
Yes.
I just cut you off again. My bad.
No.
Not my bad. But D for diva
Sorry, not
has
sorry.
has a category for veterans. Check her out, and that's why
Right, and that's what I said. We don't. And I'm cutting you off. Not that we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but that's what I said. We gotta get a group of people together and just figure it all out. But yeah, 'cause I've seen what she's got on her website, and again, I talk her up all the time. She's an amazing resource. Please, please,
yeah,
please, please, please. If you're looking to get into it, please go check her out. dfirdiva.com.
yeah. I mean, it was to a point to where like I was on a talk. I dedicated a whole slide to her, and I've never even met her.
Yeah.
But when you see people doing great work, you just want to promote what they're doing.
Yep.
So shout out.
Absolutely.
One day we will meet if we can do conferences in person again.
Oh, hell yeah. Listen, we need to figure it all out so when we all go to Vegas, and then we can go party at Mary's house. If she's Mary, whenever you watch this, hi, I kind of plug.
You know what? I think we may just have a cover 6 pool party.
So, all right, so we're gonna get to the Q&A because I see the chat log. I keep getting the alerts. But so we're gonna get to the last few questions.
Okay.
What's new at Cover 6 right now? What are you working on that you can talk about or that you want to talk about?
What's new at Cover 6?
Yep.
We're starting an MSSP program.
That's big. That's big.
I'm just doing it to do it. I'm just doing it to do it.
I love that approach.
I have some people that are telling me not to do it, that I could do other things, but I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn. So the MSSP program, if there was anything else, honestly, no. I mean, we're still gonna stay on the grind with the meetups, the training, the consulting, like that. All of that, just those 3 things alone are keeping us busy. But you may start seeing more of the staffing and recruiting efforts I saw Katia on here. May have some work for you, Katia. But I thought about that. I thought about a mentorship program, but I felt like I was already doing that. But then, I started looking into communities again. So we have a community, already built in on our website, but I started worrying about privacy. I started worrying about people sending people messages on the back end. I worried about people like using the community to sell stuff, and how do I manage that?
Yeah.
So I just didn't do it. But I don't know. I haven't even thought about it yet. I'm trying to get that.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why I haven't started a Discord or anything like that either. Cause I'm not trying to deal with any of the, because there's always going to be one knucklehead.
Yeah, I mean, we have a Discord. I feel like that helps the students. It helps the meetup group. It helps Discord. And you put out a few rules. Luckily, we have some really good folks moderating that. And there's no leeway with us. Like if you mess up, you're out. Like I've always been that way. Our community is going to be for everyone, and if you violate that, deuces.
Yep. All right, so the routine. So we're getting down to the.
Why are we finishing? You got somewhere to be?
No, we're gonna get to the Q&A. We're gonna talk.
No, I'm just messing with you, acting like you don't have a family and stuff.
Oh no, listen, my wife is over here doing cake sculpting right now. She's glad I'm not bothering her right now.
See the way
shout out to One Dream Cakes and Treats.
The way my COVID situation set up. I'm joking.
Oh man. All right, so before we get to the why, so you talked about what's new. What are your personal or professional goals for 2021?
I'll put them out there. I think I put the 5 certs out there, and I want everyone to hold me to it. So
bring them up. Talk about it.
CYSA, CISP, OSCP, PMP, and CISO before Christmas.
Before Christmas?
Before Christmas.
All right.
And that's on top of everything I'm already doing, and I want people to hold me to it.
That's what's up. So
those are my cert goals. Okay. But then I'm also looking for a master's program. So I guess those are my professional goals.
Okay.
But on the business side, you have a number that you always put it as a milestone, not the end goal, but as a milestone, and try to get it. Yep. I'm just going to work towards the milestone, and we'll see how it goes.
That's what's up. So me, AWS CCP, AWS Solutions Architect, AWS Security Specialty, OSCP, and then I haven't figured out what's after that. But I want to do all the AWS before May. So I'm going to try to knock those 3 out before May. This way I can then work on the professional goals, which is I'm going to get at least 1 course or 1 workshop out. And then, but that will also lead into all the hands-on stuff I'm doing with my second content channel that I'm not talking about yet.
Why not? Oh.
No, I'm not talking about fully. Like, I mean, if you guys tune in when I do my random lives, I've talked about it, but I'm creating a second, not necessarily a show, but a second stream that's going to be dedicated to more for my hands-on technical folk, which in my mind will help me get back into the OSCP.
You made me think about something. I do have a couple of pet projects that I'm working on. One's a nonprofit, and one will be another blog site. But I don't want to tell anyone about. I don't want to tell anyone about the blog site because I want it to grow organically, just so I can ensure that it would,
Yep. No, that's dope. Okay, so we're gonna get to we're gonna do a cheers real quick, but before we do that, Ty,
Yeah.
you know the question: what is your why?
I struggle, but it's easy now. It's the people. The people are my why, and it may sound funny, but I feel like I was told what one of my life's missions was. And that was to help as many people as I can. And once I've accepted that, everything in life and business and everything else was just positive. And it's a really weird feeling. It's kind of like, and not to make this religious, but
It's
every time
my show. Do what you want.
Okay, but it's kind of like every time I've doubted religion, something would happen,
Yep.
And like every time I doubted my mission, something would happen. So whenever I was positive with my mission, life was positive. And, I started looking at the stats of the meetup group, and like I can clearly see, the numbers when the meetup group was popular and when the meetup group was unpopular. And it was a direct correlation to how I was doing in life, So whenever I was having down periods, the only thing I needed to do is schedule another meetup. So I scheduled another meetup and then things pick up again. It was really, really weird. So I've just accepted that I'm Tyrone Wilson and I'm here to help as many people as I can through education in cybersecurity. Easy. So
here's to not running from your purpose.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody watching, that has been Tyrone Wilson. And we will now kick it to the Q&A for the Wolf Pack in the chat. Let's see where we going. Oh, man. Y'all live tonight. Listen.
Let's go.
I love it. I love like y'all definitely keep it going.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. There's a whole bunch of conversation with JB in the drink.
I saw some stuff earlier, but I think I missed the
Oh hell, okay.
SOPs and documents. Okay.
We're talking about documentation. Hey, listen, learn to love documentation. Like I love writing reports. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I love it. So Kalila says, he said, go hack all the things now. I'm gonna need him to get all the monies. Hey,
I'm working on something big. I'm working on something big, and you'll know that it came to fruition because I'm gonna have a tweet. And I don't even want to say it because it's gonna sound really bad. But if you ever see me tweet #selfmade, then it's a wrap. So set up an alert.
Kalila says, hey,
for that. But my friends used to make fun of me. They would say if Tyrone Wilson won the lottery, he would buy a network just so he can defend it.
Hey, listen, but if you when you're doing what you love, it's not work.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, don't get like.
No, it's work. It's work. But when you're doing what you love, all the politics, yes. To really
like tomorrow, I gotta work. This weekend, I gotta work. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, Blenster. What's up, Blenster? Says, I try to remember the phrase, put your own mask on first, to remind myself that I can't do it all alone on my own, ignoring my self-care. No, absolutely. If you're not the best version of you, then you can't be any version of anything to help anybody else.
Blenster's a good dude, y'all.
Yeah, no, yes, and that's he's my beard goals.
Yeah.
Tezero Wilson says that was deep.
Hey, Tezero, we related?
I might need to figure that out. Kalila says, nah, for real, us strong friends struggle at times. No, it's true. Jacque says, get that cry out and keep pushing. No, it's absolutely, sometimes you got to.
Mhm.
Like I said, scream, whatever. Just make sure you get it all out. And then it's like, all right, cool. Now what's next? Blenster says, I've been aggressively following not white cis dudes on Twitter, so I have more exposure to voices that I can boost.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, and on every aspect, you have to step out of your comfort zone. Like, you may not be comfortable talking to other groups of people, but once you get to talk to them, you find that you have certain things in common. So that's my little soapbox statement. Naomi says that she loved your training at the Blacks in Cyber.
Thanks, Naomi. Thanks.
Yeah, and Naomi, I should be posting my talk this weekend because she asked me about the talk. So, computer science Barbie says you're representing so much to us here at BIC, Tyrone and Davin. I can assure you, your sacrifices do not go unnoticed, and the content you make and present reaches deep within the community.
Thanks.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
That's why we do it. And Xavier then says facts. Hey, shout out to Xavier. Like I said, he's another one doing great things.
Yeah. I won't say nothing.
What? Go ahead. As long as you keep it clean and respectful.
No, it's clean, but you know when you notice. Now I'm not even gonna say nothing. All I'm gonna say is, like you, the passion runs deep.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Okay, so CTF.
The passion runs deep with him.
Yep. Hellbite says the CTFs are great for setting up those environments. Plenty of open source ones to set up locally. No, absolutely. CTFs, Vuln hubs, you know. Then Hellbites also asked, what are your favorite stories for explaining cybersecurity to kids? It depends on the child.
Yeah, so I always try to create something that's relatable. And, you know, especially with the kids, you know, whatever platform they're on, you know, a lot of the kids have these either the portable devices or they have, you know, the little gaming stations, and that, you know, they're talking to people, you know, they have the cameras that are hooked up. And I'm like, you have to be careful with your approach, but you have to find a way to let the kids know that, you know, there are people out there that are targeting kids. Yeah. You know, like you can't just straight up be like, yo, mess around, you come up missing, you know, like you can't. You can't take that approach.
F around and find out.
You can't take that approach with the kids, but you gotta let them know that it's serious out there.
Yeah.
No, it's serious. There's kids that aren't coming home tonight.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's real. So, with the kids, when I usually talk to kids, I posed a question. I'm like, if I sent you a message right now and told you I was whatever age you are, if I was a 13-year-old girl, would you believe me? And they were like, no, because you're clearly not a girl. I'm like, but what if I showed you this picture?
Yeah.
What if I what if I liked everything you liked? And you would still know. Well, how? You know, and then you get their minds going that way. And then this way it's kind of like people can be the scary thing is people could be whatever they want on the internet.
Yeah. And
if they want to do this to lure children, and then you kind of get into you got to be careful what you share. You got to be careful what you post. So I even go back as far as and show them certain things like the Wayback Machine, archive.org to show whatever you tweet or whatever you post today, 5-10 years from now could still be there.
Yeah. I got a good story. A daughter, a really good friend of mine, was kind of interning with us. She had, no, I won't say what she came to, but she's
Mhm.
kind of working with us. I believe she was like 13, 14 at the time, and had pulled up one of her social media accounts to do the chat. So I right-clicked on the profile picture and did a Google search for the image of her profile picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then the profile picture matched on another account of some 18, 19-year-old.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that you? She was kind of embarrassed. And I was like, come on now. We don't need to be doing that. You'll have plenty of time, you know.
Yeah.
Fast behind. No, I'm joking.
No, listen. Unfortunately, that's what we got to do these days, especially being girl dads. Like,
yeah, shoes.
I'm trying to draw the. I'm towing the line of not being like that hovering parent.
You know what? That is my why. That's my first why.
Yep.
That's my first why. Believe it or not, her name is in the company logo.
That's what's up. That's
my. Yeah, my daughter's name is in my company logo in binary. And then the people, but I'm sure the people will understand.
So JV says, I found out about the SANS program for vets where they do scholarships for 3. Yo, I just saw that too. So apparently SANS gives out free certification.
Nah, I think I looked into that. Oh, was it the Microsoft one? I think I looked into the Microsoft one.
You have to be within 10 years of getting out. So Infinite Login says, I'm late, but I'm here. Harley, listen, it's always a pleasure.
Ski you.
Let's see.
Can y'all tell this whiskey's kicking in right now?
Oh man, the moment you kept cutting me off, I knew it was kicking in.
Yeah.
Oh, Ladera Jackson says, I'm working and watching. See, I told you she was watching. Hey, babe. Let's see. Hailbite says, oh man, good list. David Fraley says, Ty got this, no problem. No, see, look,
let's get it.
Ty is a free. I told you, you for the people.
Let's go. It's really, really motivating. It's
Infinite Login says the second channel. I don't know if it's gonna be a separate channel, but like I said, it'll definitely be a second stream. Kalila says, Ty would be perfect teaching some courses at Purdue University Global. My CEH course is trash. And he would be able to actually teach me some real life content and engage the students here at my school. Have you ever thought about teaching at colleges? Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's why I am looking for my master's program.
Oh, that's okay. So then there you go.
So if there's a waiver to overlook that until I get it, then I'd explore the possibility.
Yeah, that's dope. I have to talk. I'll probably link up with I ask Matthew Mills. He was a previous guest, but he teaches down here at Georgia. I think he teaches at Georgia Tech on the side.
Okay.
But I'll ask him. Let's see. Hailbite says we got to talk on what you're planning to do with those AWS certs. And I'm just, I'm trying to get this, the cloud.
What are you trying to do? What are you going to do for your next course?
Right now I'm just taking some stuff that I got on Udemy, but
no, not a course you're taking. A course you're going to be providing.
Oh, what the course I'm going to be providing?
Mm-hmm.
Something is either gonna is gonna be penetration testing related. I just don't know if it's gonna be network, web app, or API.
API.
Yeah, I know that there's a little need for that. So like I said, or I might end up doing all of them. I just don't know which I'm gonna do first.
API. I saw your API talk, bro.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's what's up. Thank you.
Should do it. Do like a micro class or do a meetup, and then put that price tag on it.
All right. Well, I have to.
Or half a day, You got it.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Chris Shaw says, "Love the hustle. Make sure not to burn out."
Oh no, I'm not gonna burn out. You know, I randomly travel for no reason. Like I went to Chicago for pizza.
Yo, I saw that. I saw you put up
Yeah.
I saw you put up the meme, and I was like, "Damn, Chicago pizza does sound good." And then the very next one was like,
It's like I'm in Chicago.
You thought I was bullshit. I was like,
Oh, you know.
and I told my
Like
wife, I said, babe, Ty said he wants to go to Chicago for pizza, and she was like, "Damn, Chicago does have some good pizza." And I was like, "Babe, Ty's in Chicago getting pizza."
Yeah, you gotta treat yourself. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. It was a nice little road trip too. Woke up early, left. You know, treat yourself.
How long of a drive is that?
To Chicago from DC to Chicago.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 hours, maybe 7 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
That's not bad. That's quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, but I can't just, because then it's like, all right, kids, get ready. Find a sitter for the dog. Mr. Untouchable says powerful words right there. Everyone, make sure you're paying attention to this. Why? Mm-hmm. Not your why. Your why is important. If you're just tuning in, this is your first time, thank you for joining, but please subscribe and check out the other episodes. But to me, your why is got to be strong enough to keep you going, because when that imposter syndrome hits, or that burnout hits, or you just get fed up with all of it and want to just be like, yo, I'm out, screw you, I'm out. That why has to be the one that kind of gets you back into it. So let's see. Listen, I'm not even going to try to say your name, but he says, cheers. Hail Bites gives a drink.
Cheers. I think we were drinking. We were cheersing at that time.
Blenster says, we are too kind. No, Blenster, listen.
Good dude.
Yep. Shoot, like every time we get together and I just see him working, I'm like, man.
Yeah, always.
Yo, that's what I want to do. Like, I just want to be like, building some, like, I'm just building this stuff. Like,
yeah.
So,
legit, you.
That's where I want to get. I want to get to a point where it's just like, Katie says, "Can I be on your show next?" Yeah. As a matter of fact, I will be in touch. It's that simple. Let's see. Tezero says, best advice for an MSP owner.
I have no idea. I haven't done it, but I'm gonna do it. It's just like starting a new business, except you're competing with the rest of the cybersecurity world, right? It's not like you have a special talent, like there's tons of MSSPs out there. So you just have to find your little niche, even if it's just, within your neighborhood, 1 or 2 clients. But I'm stubborn, and I want to prove that I can get a customer or 2.
Yeah.
But I feel like that will just give me the ability to hire more people that will, get like an introductory SOC position. And I just feel like that is just something that will be on heavy rotation. Those positions will be on heavy rotation. And I just feel like it would just give me the ability to give people those experiences remotely at that. So got some ideas for the next SOC virtual meetup. We'll focus on a few tools.
And it looks like everybody agrees with you. Hellbite says API. Infinite Logic says API. Hellbite says I'd hire you for API testing.
Yeah, I was listening to you. You're really confident about your API talk.
Well, thank you. I mean, and the funny how that one happened. I was still learning it, right? At the time, I had taken a new role, and they wanted me to test like the API stuff, but a lot of it was they were testing it following the web app top 10, like the regular OAuth top 10. And then I saw where Inan Shkedi and Yerez Elan. I might be butchering the name. Erez, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Put out the OWASP API top 10, and I'm like, this makes more sense. And I kept trying to get certain people to figure that this makes sense. And it was like, no, this too new, whatever. And I'm like, well, what would it take? Would it take like a professional talk or someone to do it? And they were like, yeah. And then shortly after that, Sam said, hey, you want to give a talk? And they were like, you want to give a talk? And I was like, okay. And I came up with a couple ideas, and they were like, we like that API one. So that's how that
Hey.
went. And the funny thing is, it's funny that you say that I sounded really confident.
Mm-hmm.
I was sweating bullets that whole talk. I don't know if you actually listen, but a lot of the time you hear, that's me. That was me telling myself to breathe, because I said I gave myself an hour, and I think I went through like 45 minutes, but I kept telling myself to breathe, and I'm like, and then we were running into issues. The stream went bad. I had to call back in. So, like, to me, like that talk, I cringe every time I hear that talk. And that was my very first presentation for an outside entity. That wasn't like my own.
Do you still get nervous before your talks?
Yeah, I get nervous off of every talk, but that one just scared the shit out of me. Like that, I mean, because it was like, it's Sans, right? And it's Sans. This is the first time I'm giving this talk. This is the first time I was giving a talk in a professional setting. That was my very first professional talk. So I was just like, oh God, I hope I don't bomb on this one. And then then you have the people in the crowd who are quick to try to challenge you and whatever. So I was a nervous wreck that whole day. I took the day off from work. I didn't eat. I was just like, so
yeah.
I'm gonna refine it and probably give it again. But like I said, yeah, that talk. Every time I hear that talk, I cringe.
Do it.
My wife says Ty really wanted to say go without the fam. When we're talking about taking a random road trip. Don't answer that.
I'm smart enough to know. Okay, how much I've had to drink.
So Rose says, yeah, thanks. Infinite Login says MSPs is a tough space, and that he also did it for 4 years, and he's glad he's out.
Yeah, I feel you. It looks exciting from the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. It looks exciting. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about the next moves, like right off into the sunset moves, right? Like I'm even thinking about a book, but I'm not writing the book until I put the hashtag out, because that might be the name of the book.
Hashtag self-made.
Yeah, so I'm still, you know how it is. This is year 25, 26. So
yes, yeah, I still got some time. I still got some time to figure that out.
If I ever start getting gray hairs, I'm not going to work, then I'll start.
Oh, well, see, I've had gray hair since I was like 6. Hailbite says killed it, couldn't tell at all. I appreciate it, but I damn sure could.
Yeah.
What are all those pops behind you of? Those are mainly comic book, Star Wars, or anime, or and like Batman. Then I have a whole separate wall on the other side. That was one of my very first bad habits once I started to make a little money. Anonymous, listen, Anonymous, I'm gonna have to track you down one day. Are you ready to merge with the one true cloud? Like almost every other episode, you pop on about this one true cloud. No, I'm just trying to get these AWS certs, figure this out, do some AWS pen testing, and then probably make that into a course itself. Kalila says, I am terrible at public speaking myself. I'm trying to overcome it. The one thing that worked for me was honestly, like, and using Ty's words, just do it. Don't figure out a plan.
And I called that out.
Yeah.
So for everybody that's listening,
Yeah.
Kalila will be speaking at a meetup in March. So,
Yeah. Shoot.
so
You know what?
everybody come listen to Kalila.
And there, you know
How
what?
to
There you
get
go.
over this public speaking fear.
I'll do the AP. I'll do the API talk at one of your meetups. I'll do the API talk at one of your meetups. There you go.
Okay, cool.
And I just told Kalila last week. I was like, I got to figure out a talk for Ty's meetup.
Done and
So,
done.
all right. So then there we go. So we just have to figure out the date. Maddox says, "Hello, team. Listen, always support." Okay, I'm gonna get to Hell Bites next question, but first, my wife said too late. She saw it in your face. And then he said, "What's the most stressful SOC environment you've worked in before?"
I wouldn't necessarily call it a SOC environment, but I was deployed, and then during my deployment, every other Friday, I was on a Black Hawk or a Chinook going to another base in Iraq because we had to do a security assessment and give a presentation. So it's not fun being shot at and mortar attacks while you're trying to run a vulnerability scan in some bunker somewhere. But if it was like a SOC environment, I've been on a couple flyaway teams. You know what? And I think I was in the SOC that night when he decided to bomb Fallujah.
Wow.
Okay, no, I'm just joking. I mean, I'm not joking, but
Look, are you?
No, I'm not. It was really like a mafia. Let me stop talking. So the most stressful SOC environment that I've worked in, it was good. It was really stressful, like the JTFG, and it's stressful because of who we were, right? Like we're literally in charge of all of .mil. So just by virtue of your position, there's a lot of pressure there to be able to respond, to be able to have answers because everyone's looking up to you. But I love that though. So every Thursday when we had to do the ops roundup, like everyone knew not to talk to me that morning because, we have all of these different APT groups, people are going to ask us these questions. And if one of the analysts on the team didn't have an answer, then I needed to have an answer. So I guess that was really stressful. And then the other thing was, there was a point every day where we had to provide these, they call them F3 EAD bullets: find, fix, finish, eradicate, and something else. But we had to provide these bullets to, was it the director of NSA? I just remember General Alexander. Was it General Alexander? We had to provide these bullets, these 3 bullets every day about what was going on in our environment. And I hated it. So that was pretty stressful. And then, of course, every time something happens, where there's like, a new 0 day that's out, but then that becomes normal, right? It's not really stressful,
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's a different kind of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Hellbite says, "Who would win, Superman, Darth Vader, or Goku?" Okay, I'm not in.
I have no idea who Goku is.
Dragon Ball Z.
I'm sorry. I never got into.
How close is Superman to the sun?
I never got into anime.
Oh, okay. Man,
sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. We're not all perfect. Kalila says, "Damn, the blast again, Ty. You got it. He's motivating you." Hellbite says, "Can't even imagine. I get stressed out running loan assessments from my dining room."
So I'll tell you where Kalila messed up. She messed up by agreeing to let me provide, I guess you could call it mentorship, right? And I was like, "You ready?" She said, "I'm ready." I was like, all right, let's go. Well, we're gonna talk. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. So yeah,
Kalila, I'm right there with you because he's always giving me some type of challenging question. I think I'm still yet to answer one of them.
yeah.
So
I literally have zero remorse because you asked for it, and there's someone else that I'm missing. I mean to call her out too,
do it.
but her and Kalila are friends. I'm sorry. I forgot the name.
It happens.
But she's supposed to speak too.
Oh,
she
okay.
was supposed to speak last year, but ended up skating out for almost a whole year. Believe me, when I find her,
Ty want to smoke.
yes.
Ty want to smoke. All right. So if you
know
guys
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Nope, you go.
No, I was gonna say if you guys have any other questions, now would be the time. Because if not, we're wrapping
please ask questions.
Oh, there she goes.
Hey,
she
goddamn
said,
right, Kashana. Damn right. Cool. Hey, let her know.
Oh,
and Leticia too. Talk about Leticia says she wants to present. Yeah, I'm calling her out right now. She says she wants to present, but something about it was something about the dates that she was going to present didn't coincide with something that was like the way the moon sits or something. It was in March, and she wanted to wait till the end of March. And I was like, I don't care about your zodiac your zodiac rules or or if you know,
like I don't care if Mercury's in retrograde.
Right.
We're gonna get his talk now.
So and I was like, just for that, I want to see you give the first talk in March.
Yep. Okay.
So, yeah.
Hey, Mary Galloway says, "Hey y'all." Hey, Mary. Oh, Mary. So we kind of said we're gonna come raid you at some point when COVID lets up in Vegas. So,
speaking of calling people out, thank you, the Mary Galloway, for joining us tonight.
Yes, that's my people's. That's my. So Anonymous says, serious question. What do you hope to change in 2021?
Me personally, what do I hope to change? I honestly want to get to a point to where people with Black faces are just doing it, and it's not a big deal. I want to normalize, Black professional faces in tech. Honestly, that's what I want.
That's dope. Yep. Same. But since I can't answer the same question, what do I hope to change? Again, I think it starts with yourself. So it's like I want to be the change I want to see. So I want to be more engaged in, getting my stuff off the ground to help others. So I think it's less talk and more action.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my number one goal. Is
hashtag normalize us.
Absolutely. Yep. And that's been the thing I've been going on all month, where I want to show that it can be done, and it can be done by us. Like we can actually do it and be successful at it.
Yeah. I want to get to a point to where like we're doing it.
Yeah.
There's really nothing to prove anymore. Like it's been proven.
I don't like it. When it gets to a point where you don't have to when you don't have to see a double take of who's speaking or who's whatever, or but yeah, absolutely.
I just want to get to a point where you don't need a list of Black speakers. You know what I mean? You don't need a list of Black women speakers. You don't need to send a blast out saying, hey, who would you recommend to be a Black female speaker?
Yeah.
Right? Like you should know it's a bunch out there. Why don't you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay.
All right. So let's see. First, Mary said she's on the East Coast. So gonna have to elaborate, but that'll probably be offline. Maddox says I can get behind that. More Blacks in tech. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, just more diversity. Just yes. Hellbite says, do you think we'll see security firms entirely focused on bug hunting in 2021?
Yeah.
No. You think so? You think they'll be more focused on bug hunting?
I honestly think that there will be companies creating teams of bug hunters because it's like really prevalent now. Like you can start a business finding 4 or 5 people that want to be bug hunters, and then y'all split the money if you could figure out a way to do it. Yeah. We've had $1 million bug hunter out there.
Yeah. No, there's a few of them now. There's a few. I mean, hell, someone just found a bug. What was it, last week? And got paid $150,000. I mean, granted, it was a supply chain and it involved Tesla, Apple, and insert big name here. But I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it.
Yeah, I mean, web apps are the future, you know. So
yeah, web apps and I mean, not to plug it again, but even with the
API,
yeah, like by check out the talk. And I'll be doing that talk. And now I guess I said it out here, so now I gotta live up to it. So, is your mentorship only for young folk? A lot of times people assume that when you hit 35, you should know. I'm always find mentorship for people in their 20s. No, if you're willing to learn, listen. If you're willing to learn and you can understand the concept,
I'm a sip before I answer this.
Okay. Well, while you're sipping, I'm okay with it as long as you're open. You know, like I said, you're open to listening. And again, the thing with mentoring older folks sometimes, and I'm not trying to knock on nobody, but sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. And when they get a little bit older, it's almost like they want you to do it for them. And then that's where it turned from mentoring to coaching. And just like any other coaching service, it's a service you provide. So it just all depends.
Yeah. I have never, how do I say it? I have never openly advertised mentorship, but I have never turned anyone down. If that makes sense. If y'all can read between the lines. I don't care who you are. Just know that if you ask for my help, we're going to work. And I'm not going to have much sympathy for you. I'm always testing you, even when you don't hear from me for a week or two, because I want to see what you're going to do. And I'm watching.
And I will speak to that. Like I never officially asked him to be a mentor, but Ty will get in your ass. like for real. Like, and that's what I said. Like when I put that out there last week, like he won't. I ran out of space on Twitter, but he doesn't tell you what you want to hear. He gonna tell you what he thinks you need to hear, and sometimes what he thinks you need to hear might not be what you want to hear, but you gonna hear it.
Yeah.
So, but again, but this is why I love talking to Ty, or I love talking to someone like a JB or even Marcus. Like they'll tell you, nah, that ain't it. Like you need to fall back. And the fact that and you have to be open to listening, is like you said earlier, two ears, one mouth. Like there aren't too many people who can approach me like that will approach me like that, but when they do, I listen to it. Like you guys, I mean, my wife, like I tell the story all the time how my wife will be tell me straight up, and I'm like she said, and I'm like, my feelings hurt a little bit, but I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So Mary says she needs your help, Tyrone.
The Mary Galloway?
The Mary Galloway says she needs your help.
Uh-huh.
So we got to figure that out. So Hailbite says, for those looking at bug bounty programs, do you think that web app, server security, API security, embedded software, or mobile applications are the most lucrative targets?
I wouldn't know.
Web apps and APIs, definitely. Mobile applications, yeah.
You know what? I just added another goal. My goal would be to make $1.
Yo!
At a minimum, I want to make $1 from a bug bounty program this year. What do I have to lose?
You know what? I think that could be something we work on.
I want to make money from a bug bounty. I want to earn something.
I mean, I love swag and stickers, but
want me to tell you a funny story?
What's up?
Is it Bug Crowd or Hacker One? Casey Ellis ended up being in the speaker's room for Hacker Halting. For anyone that's not at conferences, go and speak at the conferences, right? Go and volunteer to speak at the conferences because you're going to end up meeting some really great people by doing that. And freaking Casey Ellis, good dude, was the one speaking, I think, right before me. So he was in the speaker's room while I was in the speaker's room, and we were chatting it up and stuff. And I didn't really know who he was at the time. Sorry, Casey. But then I looked at the little menu thing. And I was like, oh.
Like,
oh, snap. Okay. Cool.
That's what's up.
Let's get it then.
I think, I don't know if that's going to be a 2021 goal. Cause I want to make sure it's safe to go back out. But it's a
2021 goal. We got 8 months to make $1.
No, I'm not talking about bug bounties. I was
speaking
to your point about the speaking. No, not just speaking. Giving a keynote.
Okay.
That's why I said I'm not sure if it's going to be a 2021 goal, but I want to make sure I give a keynote. I got to give a keynote at some point.
What would that mean to you?
As far as what?
Giving a keynote.
I mean, it's just something that I feel like giving a keynote, but I want it to be honest. I want to, for one, I think it would be therapeutic in a way.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I want it. I want it to be. I want it to be technical, but I also want it to be somewhat personal, right? Almost similar to your keynote, right? Where, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like someone put it on Twitter the other day. I guess someone posed a question of asking who would you want to see give a keynote speech, and please forgive me, I don't know who it was, but they tagged me, and then I was like, I never really.
I think you could
thought about it. So I have to figure it out.
3 things I had to remember, and that was to motivate, inspire, and what was the third one? Provide purpose. Kind of like the leadership, right? Motivate, inspire, and I can't think of the third one. But then I honestly, that the day that I did it, I finished it the night before. Because we had planned a bunch of stuff. My brother's a motivational speaker, and he had all this stuff written for me. And I just got to a point where I just scratched it. And then I said, I'm just going to go tell my story. And then it was at that moment is when I actually figured it out, who I was. That's because of the way that, like, you can't tell if you watch the video, but on the back end, I'm looking at the slides while I'm on stage. So at the beginning, there was a slide that says, "Who is Tyrone Wilson?" And then towards the end, that slide comes up again.
Yeah.
Who is Tyrone Wilson? And I just remember looking at the slide, and then I purposely, so the two slides, there's purposely like four more bullets the second time it comes up than the first time it comes up. But even after the first bullet was Tyrone Wilson is the founder and CEO of Cover 6 Solutions. And I was already good just off of that. But then I had 7 more bullets to go through. And I just kept saying, and there's more, and there's more. But then that's when I realized, I was like, goddamn Tyrone Wilson. I'm just playing, y'all.
No, but it's real though. It's real, and I'm gonna put that. I got to put that link back in the show notes because that was, like I said, that was a really great keynote. Let's see. Mary says yes, multiple streams of income. Like I said, yeah, we got to get paid off of it first before we can call it a stream. Because the stream is steady. I don't want to just get like, congratulations, you got like $100 and then I don't hear nothing.
I want that Mary Galloway money.
Goals. Goals. I had her. The last time she was on the show, like she revealed like 3 other things. She was like, "Oh, I do this and this." I mean, she got the cyber consulting, and then she got the financial consulting. Then she was like, "I got this, and she's like, "Oh, I do real estate." I was like, "Yo!" So yeah, yeah, that's a goal.
Yeah.
Hailbite says a future trends of API security keynote. Listen, I'm not the expert to be given a future trends, but we'll see what happens. Kalila says you should definitely do a keynote. Well, like I said, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. And Mary laughed at us talking about her many hats. So all right. So like I said before, we're gonna close off the show because we're veering in on 2 hours. But like I said, for those people who want to support the efforts that's going on in Dallas, please check out all of these links here. So you have the parkhillcapitalventures.com/charity. For the Dallas area, there's Feed the People Dallas. Then we also have for Houston and Austin. And then you might also want to check out Josh to David. Like I said, he definitely, he's definitely doing a lot that's going on out there. Cyber Insight, JB says, you might know some folks that support some B-sides conferences. I might have to reach out to them. So, and then Hellbite says, thank you so much. No, thank you for rocking out with me and Ty for, like I said, almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
What happened?
Has it been 2 hours?
Yeah, almost. We almost at 2 hours. We started at 6. But like I said, thank you to all of you guys who are rocking out every week. Check the show on the replay. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like I said, we're not doing it on Twitter anymore. Right now, we're only on Twitch and YouTube. I may go to Facebook. I don't know. It has to make sense. I don't know why. I don't know. I want to build up these two right now. But in the meantime, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you can follow me on Twitter, DJax Alpha. Like I said, I will not be promoting the Buy Me a Coffee, but if you would like to, later on, I'm always, I always appreciate the support. You'll see I'm making subtle little improvements. Like I got a 4K camera today, so it looks a little bit better. I'm working on some other stuff. For my second stream, it was pissing me off that I was having some issues with my share screen, so I'm working on that. And like I said, I'm just trying to build it all up. Whether it's one way or another, we're gonna get that content out there. Ty, tell the people how to find you.
Ty Wilson 21 on all the social media platforms. The DMs are always open. I'm always here to help. The business is at Cover 6 Solutions on all of the social media platforms. And if you miss any, I recently just put a link tree. I recently just got a link tree account, and the link to my link tree is in my Twitter profile. So I will always be here for you as long as I'm breathing. So reach out at any time. I may not be ultra responsive, but I will be responsive.
And
So
be prepared for the smoke.
Yeah, you want to get to work? Let's get to work.
Oh, Maddox, my apologies. I didn't mean to say Twitch. I'm no longer streaming on Twitter and Periscope. Mm-hmm. So I'm on YouTube and I'm on Twitch. The second stream will probably be mainly on Twitch. I don't know yet. I just got to figure out that whole screen sharing thing because the screen was horrible and I was really like disappointed and hard on myself last week. So Kalila says, awesome job, fellas, and have a great night. Same to you. And I will be also tuning into your talk next month. So good luck.
Hey, everybody come watch Kalila. And Leticia, if you're listening. And Kashana. And there's a couple other folks.
And me.
And Davin. Yep.
Yeah, and me. So let's see. Maddox says LinkedIn in the future, streaming on LinkedIn.
Yes. Davin and I will be streaming on LinkedIn and on something. Some collaboration.
The three. Yeah, I think that would be dope. Okay. We might have to set that up, do a little 3-man weave thing. So, all right. Well, like I said, we are Blenster. Oh, Blenster says, thank you so much for a fascinating conversation. Anytime, Blenster. Like I said, you don't know how much I appreciate the fact that you've actually been here and rocked out with us for 2 hours. So thank you for joining. And if anybody who doesn't know, please go check Blenster out. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody, it has been another week, another episode of InfoSec Unplugged, another great guest. I thank you. I appreciate you. I love you all. And we will we'll check back next week. So thank you all. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And we are going to close out the show.